In English?
Yeah, in English. Well, yeah. Hey guys. Give me a break, man. Here, this is my friend. My friend. You want to say real name or fake name?
Real name is okay. Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. And this guy's been here longer than I have, and his English is excellent, actually.
I'll use my real name, Quentin Tarantino.
And his Japanese is really, really good. You passed the IKkyuu, right?
Yeah.
And all that stuff. And he can read and all that crap. So I want to ask you questions about what you think about the kanji in Japan. So just some real quick questions. Japanese people, you deal with Japanese people every day, right? Do you think most people can read?
Most Japanese people?
Yeah.
No. They can give
read Japanese.
Most Japanese people can read Japanese.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Most Japanese people.
Yeah. So what do you think the average? How many kanji do you think the average Japanese person knows?
I think.
Do you think they know the Joho?
They don't know the 2000 on site. They don't know them separately. They know them in Jukugo.
Okay.
In the combination.
Okay. Yeah.
If you show them separately, I mean that's what if you show them separately, they're going to guess. If you give them 3 guesses, they'll get it right.
Okay.
But in Jukugo, which is how I recommend that you learn them, in Jukugo in the compounds, they get it right almost every time.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree with that. What do you think about literacy here? Literacy rate then? Do you think it's fair to say? Well, what do you think? Do you know anything?
Well, I heard that even homeless people read.
Yeah.
I've seen them reading newspapers.
What I told you, this is unprepared by the way, but I said the same thing that Hiton is the cameraman.
You do not see that in New York.
And you don't see homeless people reading
They're
newspapers.
not reading. They're trying to read a coffee can, but they can't read. They're not reading newspapers. They're certainly not reading the Wall Street Journal. And I've seen homeless guys here reading Keizai Shimbun.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Unbelievable. Literacy rates are very high here. Do you think kanji causes stress to the average Japanese person?
Yeah, I think so. When you tell someone your name, or when you're telling someone the place, the address, they have to write it in their mind before they know where it is. You're telling them, just ask for, for example, just ask for Hirokojidori Ichome no 27, and they're thinking, Hirokojidori, how do you write that? It doesn't matter. I mean, just just remember, just ask somebody. But so I think it causes stress, and I know it causes foreigners stress.
Oh, it causes us
learning.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now there was a guy on YouTube that was saying that most Japanese only know 500 kanji.
What's YouTube?
That's what you're gonna leave it. No. I'm kidding. Do you think that's possible? Do you think that's at all possible?
I think it's a little severe. I think it's an exaggeration because you have to learn it. If to go to college.
Do you think maybe he meant the Japanese person said she only knew 500 kanji? Maybe she meant she could only write 500 kanji.
Probably.
That's believable. Right?
Yeah, I mean, the definition for level 1 is that you should find most of those kanji you will need those to take a university class in Japanese.
Right.
So they definitely use them in university.
But one thing that my students pointed out to me today is in Japan only 60% of people go to university. Which is pretty high.
It's true for my class. 60% of my class comes. 60% of my students come to my class. Oh, you're saying something different. That's just the university students. 60% of them go to university.
Right.
Don't get me started.
Of all the population, right?
Yeah, that sounds kind of low.
But what's interesting here is that people mix here. I mean, in the States, you know the bell book, the bell curve.
Right.
So according to that, and it's pretty much true. In the States, you don't really hang out with people who are not. If you went to university, all your friends are at university, right?
Yeah, snobbery.
Yeah. But in Japan, that doesn't exist.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah, you don't really ask.
Yeah. Like in our class today, like 50% of the students went to university, 50 didn't. But it doesn't even reflect on their English ability.
Like I've heard in Britain, it's if you ask someone what university went to, it's a really touchy question.
Yeah, if any British people are watching, let us know about that.
We probably don't do that with Japanese. Like I don't usually ask what university. Because sometimes I feel like it's a sore point. They don't want to bring it up. Right?
It is a sore point. And actually, I've made the mistake of asking people, and they say, "Oh, you don't know it. You don't know it." So they're kind of hiding.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, they do mix. I think.
Yeah, they mix a lot more than back in the States, at least.
But as far as kanji, like trying to study the kanji, I was told maybe 100 times by my wife that I don't need this kanji when I'm trying to learn it for level 1.
Oh, really?
Like, well, it's on the list. I kind of need it. She said, well, you don't need it.
But
I want to pass the test.
She knows what it means, though.
Yeah, she said, but we don't use it.
But that's the thing that bugs me about Japanese. They're always saying, they always say, you don't need to know that.
You don't need to know that.
Like any word that we think is interesting, oh, no, you don't need to know that. I don't tell my students that. All right. Any hints for people who are studying kanji?
I recommend that you learn them in the context, like in the words, in the compounds. because that's what's hard.
What about Hisik method? Have you tried that?
I like it. It's
like
good
it
for
too.
writing.
Yeah.
Good for writing. But I don't think it helps me remember. It didn't help me remember.
Pronunciation? Or-
Yeah, this is the thing. It didn't help me remember spotting them. I know it's supposed to. It helps me write them, but it doesn't help me remember them.
True. Compounds help though.
Yeah, the compounds help because that's how you're going to use them. And what I did was I memorized them all separately, and then I also memorized them with Jukugo.
Yeah.
But with separately, the problem you've got is the onyomi and the kunyomi, and the rules don't always. They're not always.
And then there's exceptions. Like
there's a lot of
Wagi,
exceptions.
Wagi, that's
Yeah.
almost every
There's a lot of exceptions, so you end up having to learn every
Jozu,
Jukugo.
yeah.
So learn every compound that you're going to use, and that's the longest way, but it's also the fastest way.
All right. I'll insert a picture of a book that has a good list of Jukugo. It's a kanji dictionary with Jukugo, and it's right here. All right.
Cool.
What's up, man?
Hey, I mean, I've got a website that's related to this. I haven't pulled
really?
it up yet, but it's called Shortcuts to Japanese.
Oh, really? I'll put
Yeah.
it on. I'll give you.
Yeah, I'll
I'll
give you the link.
Send me the link, and I'll actually add it to this video.
Good. I appreciate it. That would be good because we're going to try to. I
In
used
fact,
to
what you
teach
do is-
Japanese
let me-
people.
if it gets past my my dog site censors and they like it, then we'll put a link on our.
What do they do about the dog? I mean, they censor it. Why do they censor it?
No, I have a teaching site.
Oh, okay.
Maggie,
Right.
teaching Japanese too.
Yeah.
But I'll put a link on it.
Okay. Cool. That'll be good. Yeah. Thanks.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.